Yesterday we started revision. Okay, we started revision. Oh, sorry, we started talking about how the action potential propagates تمام in a fiber, وحكينا انه في عندي ineffective stimulation وعندي effective stimulation. ineffective إلا مثل I1 I2 I3 صحيح increasing بس بعدهم non-effective, while I4 I5 I6 كانوا effective لأنه قدروا عطوني action potential. اوكي هيدا كتير مهم. الشغلة الثانية يلي قلناها انه صحيح I4 then I5 then I6 are higher from each other, ولكن I'm always getting the same amplitude اللي هو plus 30 ملي فولت. مشان هيك قلنا انه النيرف fiber اوكي المسج is coded by frequency of action potential and not by amplitude. يعني انا لما بدي اعبر عن مسج اقوى بزيد عدد الاكشن potential. وقلنا بعدين انه النيرف fiber obeys the law of all or none. يا اما resting potential minus 70 يا اما plus 30. ما عندي خيار ثالث. اوكي ما عندي خيار ثالث. ورجعنا اخر شيء اذا بتتذكروا هون لما حكينا عن الفريكونسي كل ما قويت الستيميوليشن عطتني عدد اكشن بوتنشلز اكثر. So the brain او the neurons will recognize the strength of the message by the number of action potential they receive from a neuron. And finally, we calculated the speed of a nervous message in the distance divided by the time. Okay, and then we mentioned the factors that affect this speed. كانوا هن the presence of myelin 1 وتاني شيء diameter of the fiber. diameter of the fiber. Okay, طيب. Now we want to look the same condition. We will do the same condition ولكن in a nerve. In a nerve. طيب. Someone now may ask, what is the difference between a nerve fiber and a nerve? نحن بنقول النيرف is a bundle of axons أو fibers. فإذا الفايبر is one thin extension while the nerve is many fibers together, 500 fibers, 1000 fibers, and so on. فإذا the nerve reaching a part of the body contains many fibers. طيب, what happens if I stimulate this nerve? Okay, what happens if I stimulate this nerve? Okay, فإذا this is the question إنه what happens if I stimulate this nerve? طيب, look with me at this document. Okay, we have I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 and I6 with increasing intensities أكيد. With increasing intensities. طيب, let me ask, okay, Rana, can you answer please? Rana, can you answer? محمد صبحية تحسين.
نعم أستاذ.
محمد. اوكي ثانك يو يا محمد. طيب طلع معي يا محمد عندك I1 I2 I3 I4 I5 I6 تمام؟
نعم.
طيب I1 and I2 did they give you any response؟
لا ضلوا على ما يستاذ.
فإذا هدول هن effective stimulation ولا non effective stimulation؟
non effective.
non effective. ممتاز. طيب الاي 3
عطت بس شوي
قديش للبلس 30 يعني هون مثل الفايبر صح؟
صح.
طيب الاي 4 هل عطتك كمان بلس 30 ولا اعلى؟
لا عطني
اعلى. فاذا هون ما بقى عم يتصرف النيرف مثل الفايبر، عم يعطي زيادة بالأكشن بوتنشل. ممكن مثلا وصل للبلس 50. اوكي بالاي 5
للبلس 80.
للبلس 80. اي 6
كمان بلس 80.
also plus 80. فإذا أنا I see هون that the action potential is increasing, while in the fiber the action potential does not increase. صح؟
صح.
فإذا هون النيرف بيشتغل بطريقة غير الفايبر alone. النيرف هو مجموعة fibers. لما يكونوا group of fibers they respond in a different way than a single fiber. Okay, طيب after I5 يا محمد does the amplitude increase عن plus 80 مع انك انت you are increasing the stimulation؟ لا. طيب خليني لكن اعمل انا وياك هلا interpret of this result. Okay, interpret of this result and let's read the answer. فإذا document E1 I will put it on the WhatsApp. Okay, so everybody can see it later.
Okay.
يلا document E1. طيب. Okay. Muhammad, did you receive the answer?
Yes.
Can you read it, please?
Yes.
يلا.
No recording obtained after increasing the stimulation done of a nerve from I1 to I2.
Okay.
While a potential difference was recorded of increasing amplitude from plus 30 millivolt to plus 80.
تمام.
As the intensity increases from I3 to I5, then the amplitude remains constant as the intensity increased to I6.
Okay.
Indicates that I1 and I2 are ineffective, whereas I3 and above are effective intensities. Moreover, the increase of intensity causes an increase of amplitude.
Moreover, the increase in intensity causes an increase in amplitude. Okay, very good. تمام. ماشي حالكم الكل please everyone. Is it okay؟ طيب يا محمد بس اعطيني threshold intensity. اي وحده هون هي threshold؟ Which one is the threshold؟
30.
30. لا ما 30. الثريشولد انا قصدي بالstimulation that you give. مين الثريشولد هون؟
I3.
Sorry يا مريم you said؟
I3.
I3 لأنه starting from I3 you see an action potential. صح؟
صحيح.
من I1 و I2 no action potential. I3 and above show me an action potential. So since I3 the first minimum intensity that triggers an action potential, then I3 is the threshold intensity. Now I want you to pay attention to this. Taking into consideration the organization of the nerve, explain the obtained result. Why do you think? هعطيكم 1 minute to think about it. ليش الامبليتيود here is increasing؟ يلا 1 minute فكروا لي فيها. ليش الامبليتيود بالنيرف is increasing while in the fiber it did not increase؟ يلا فكروا لي فيها واعطوني answer. يلا. Any
أستاذ.
ideas?
فيك بس تعيد السؤال، هو سمعته بس ما كثير بفهمش قصدك.
هعيد السؤال. نحن when we increased stimulation in the fiber الامبليتيود remain constant صح؟
Yes.
على plus 30. Did it increase over plus 30?
لا.
No. ممتاز. Very good. طيب. While in the nerve here, when you increase stimulation, الintensity أو الأكشن potential increases يعني وصل للبلس 80 ما بقي على البلس 30. Any suggestions why this happens? يلا. Any ideas? Any ideas? طيب I will tell you. Okay. A nerve is made of one fiber ولا more?
لا أستاذ many.
Many fibers. ممكن نوصل ب hundreds أو thousands. طيب when you give a small stimulation مثل ال I3 for example, do you use all the fibers inside the nerve? ولا you use some?
لا أستاذ some.
We use some. طيب when you increase the stimulation, you are using what now? More and more fibers. صح؟ When you increase stimulation, you use more and more fibers. Okay, so who can read for me the J, please?
No, recording for I1 and I2 because they were ineffective, so no nerve fiber was excited, whereas the amplitude increases from plus 30 to plus 80 MV between I3 and I5 because more nerve fibers are being excited, producing many action potentials that are summed together to produce a high global potential, while the amplitude remains constant at I6 because all nerve fibers are already excited at 5.
Here he give me two explanation أو بالأحرى إذا بدكم to be more specific 3 explanations. الأول إنه I1 and I2 no action potential لأنه they were very weak so they could not stimulate any fiber inside the nerve. تمام. بينما ال I3 and I4 okay excited more and more fibers. طيب when I reach I5 and above the action potential remains constant because now all the fibers are excited. يعني عند ال I5 وال I6 كانت الماكسيموم. ليش؟ لأنه أنا I used all the fibers here. Okay, I used all the fibers inside this nerve. Clear يا جماعة for everyone? Is it clear the explanation? Okay, others. تحسين رنا صبحية قاسم. Is it clear for you? طيب. Good. Okay, رنا says clear. رنا says alt clear 3 مرات. Okay, قاسم وينك؟ ما مشكلة يا تحسين، ما مشكلة، بس خليك محاول تتابع معي قد ما بتقدر. طيب ماشي الحال يا قاسم معك؟ طيب بسيطة، ما أنا مشكلة. Okay, now can I say the law here هو ال all or none? Can I say that the law here is all or none مثل ما قلتها بالفايبر؟ شو رأيكم؟ Can I say
لا.
all or none؟
لا أستاذ.
لا أبدا ما فيني أقول all or none، لأنه هنيك كانت constant يا minus 70 يا plus 30. أما هون لا، هون في change، فمشان هيك أنا I call it.
أستاذ
تفضلي.
هلا انه هو تاع الكونستنت على الماينس 70 وبلس 30 هو بس بالنيرف فايبر
بس
ولا
بالفايبر. ما انت ما عندك الا تو ستراكشرز يا مريم، يا اما فايبر يا اما نيرف كامل.
بس بالنيرف الكامل غير، يعني بصير فيكم حيضل
في انكريزنج بالامبليتيود وعملنا اكسبلانيشن ليش.
يس بس ما فيها تكون تحت الماينس 70.
لا الماينس 70 هو الثريش، هو اذا بدك الريستنج البوتنشال، هيدا الكونستنت، لانه هو النيرف كمان مؤلف من فايبرز.
يس
صحيح؟
يس
مؤلف من فايبرز، فاجباري ندل على الماينس 70. اوكي، اجباري ندل على الماينس 70. طيب اوكي، فاذا انا هلا هون ليش قلت اوكي ليش قلت انه law of summation؟ شو يعني summation؟ اوكي what do I mean by summation؟ summation لأنه the word summation means what? It means addition. Okay, summation it means addition. So فإذا أنا what I am adding here, what is added عندي هون؟ What is added؟
It says a number of activated fibers.
A number of activated fibers، وأهم شيء يا محمد الامبليتيود. اوكي؟
Yes.
الامبليتيود. فإذا that's why أنا I call it law of summation. Okay, because this is an amplitude increasing. تمام. اوكي. فإذا law of summation because the amplitude is added. هناك اللو كان all or none. طيب here modulation, coding modulation، يعني here how the nerve tell the brain انه المسج is stronger or weaker. هنيك قلنا by the frequency of action potential. By the frequency of action potential. Here كيف بيكون؟ by increasing or decreasing amplitude. فإذا here by amplitude. Okay. Amplitude modulated coding، يعني the message is coded by changing amplitude. هنيك قلنا changing the frequency، يعني عدد الاكشن بوتنشال، عدد الاكشن بوتنشال. اوكي هون عم نقول لا it is by amplitude. اوكي لانه here the amplitude is changing. Here the amplitude is changing. اوكي يا جماعة clear؟
Yes, sister, is clear.
اوكي طيب اوكي فاذا finally انا I am done with the fiber او nerve، ما عندي غيرهم، يا اما fiber يا اما nerve. اوكي either fiber or nerve. In the fiber we said okay low, all or none, message is coded by frequency of action potential with constant amplitude. Here I say the message is coded by increasing amplitude. Okay, increasing amplitude with low here is law of summation, is law of summation. طيب okay, let us continue. Upon one unique effective stimulus on an isolated nerve, we observe two global potential, okay, instead of one. Pose the problem questioned. يعني you stimulate a nerve here, you stimulate a nerve, okay, you saw two peaks instead of one، يعني شفناه طلع مرتين. اوكي السؤال what is the problem posed؟ شو عندي انا هون problem، شو عندي شيء انا هون which is different than what I know. The question is okay why there are two global potential after applying one stimulus. لأنه أنا I know from above حارجع للصورة for every stimulus one action potential صح؟ طيب here عندي problem عندي two action potential. طيب if I see like this how I explain it? Okay, how I explain it? Okay, look at the answer. The nerve, يلا who can read this for us please? Qasim, can you read يا Qasim? Qasim, can you read? صعب شوي يا دوب سامعني، لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Okay. طيب anyone else؟
ايه استاذ انا فهمت.
طيب يلا يا مريم.
The nerve consists of two groups of nerve fibers of different natures, presence of myelin or size of diameter. One of this group conduct the nervous message in rapid rate and the other in slower rate, forming the first peak that appears at 0.2 meter second, followed by a slower one at 2 meter second.
فإذا you tell me now,
Yes.
you tell me now that this nerve is made of two groups of fibers. One of them, okay, was stronger and faster, while the other was weaker and slower. فإذا sometimes you want to send two messages. One is stronger than the other. Okay, one is stronger than the other. So,
Moreover, the amplitude of the first peak is higher because the number of fast nerve fibers is the nerve were much more than the number of slow nerve fibers.
exactly. So, the amplitude is higher ليش؟ لأن the number of these fast fibers much more than the number of the slow nerve fibers. Okay, very good. Very good. طيب. Okay. Is it clear this idea? بس هيدي special case. Okay, this is a special case. We do not see it يعني most of the times. Okay? طيب. Now, propagation of the nervous message across a fiber. هيدي last point usually نحن I will discuss it now inshallah. Okay. In vitro case action potential bidirectional. يعني usually in electricity you all know that when I make stimulation, electrical stimulation, usually it should move in all directions. يعني مثلا if you do a stimulation of electricity in water, electricity goes in one direction only in water ولا in all directions. شو رأيكم؟
It says all directions.
أكيد. In water it goes in all directions. In water it goes in all direction. Okay. طيب. Now in the fiber usually when you stimulate a point, usually it should go forward and backward. صح؟ Usually it should go forward and backward. هيدا الأوريجينال. Okay, الأوريجينال. طيب, let's see here when we excite a fiber, we see that the fiber, okay, or that the message goes only in one direction. Why it does not go backward? هيدا الكويستشن إنه why the message does not go backward. Okay, why the message does not go backward. Okay, let's see. Refractory period. شو يعني the word refractory? What does it mean? Okay, the word refractory, what does it mean? Refractory, it's like resting. Okay, it is like resting. طيب, it is the interval of time during which a given zone across the nerve fiber that depolarizes its neighboring zone is in a state of repolarization, so there is a gradual closure of Na plus ion channels, which mean that it is unexcitable. ركزوا لي على هالكلمة unexcitable. This explains the fact that action potential cannot propagate backward, يعني unidirectional propagation. So now the question is, okay, the question is, or the explanation is, that why the message cannot go backward. لأنه البوينت يلي قبل is restoring back ال minus 70. Okay, restoring back ال minus 70, so that's why it cannot, okay, it cannot take the message again. مشان هيك المسج ما بترجع backward. تمام؟ Let me explain it in a different way. Let me explain it in a different way. كلكم بتعرفوا البيانو صح؟ طيب, what do we call these pieces on the piano that make sounds? What do we call them? Anyone knows?
لا استاذ ما بعرف.
بغض النظر, هول البارتس يلي هن نحن when we press on them the sounds come out. If you press on one, then you press on the next one. Okay? You cannot press the previous quickly لأنه the previous is coming back to its original position. So it cannot, okay, it cannot give you any response. Why? لأنه it's going back to the original position. هيدا المقصود بالrefractory period. فإذن هي time, okay, that is needed for the previous point to go back to its resting potential. Okay, to go back to its resting potential. مشان هيك هي إذا ما كانت بالresting potential, إذا ما كانت بالresting potential, it cannot take a new potential. Okay? طيب, now the message here is going to the right. Let's read what is written أول شيء in the red. يلا يا مريم, in the red.
استاذ the refractory period.
لا, بهيدي الفيجر of the fiber. يعني أنا قصدي باللي تحت اللي فيها plus وماينس.
Okay. Backward current now does not re-excite.
لحظة,
previously
البارت in the red يا مريم, in the red.
استاذ ما مبينة عندي.
اللي فوق في عندك blue, red وبلاك.
اوكي, pink.
البينك ما بعرف, pink.
Now active area at peak of action potential.
تمام, هيدي الactive area now is making action potential. طيب, on its right البلو يعني هيدي new part.
Yes. Now adjacent inactive area into which depolarization is spreading will soon reach threshold.
Okay, now I am spreading it to the new area. بينما الأولد area يا مريم previous active
Previous active area return to resting potential.
the previous active is returning back to resting potential. Is returning back to resting potential. طيب, let's read now the bottom. Backward current.
Backward current flow does not re-excite previously inactive area because this area is in its refractory period.
It is in refractory period and it's going back to the original.
Yes.
Okay.
Forward current flow excites new inactive area.
بينما new area it can be excited
with direction of propagation of action potential.
Direction of propagation of action potential. Okay. Clear يا جماعة? This part?
Yes.
Why I cannot go backward? لأنه it is still recovering. It is still recovering. Okay? طيب. Okay. فإذا حتى if you look here, look, they are trying to make a new stimulus, but it will not respond. Why it will not respond now? Because, okay, لأنه it's already changing. It is already changing. So that's why it cannot respond to you. Okay, to a new stimulation. تمام؟ Is it clear?
Yes, that's clear.
Everyone? طيب, any question? Any question? Okay.